Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back. So, with May being Mental Health Awareness Month, I really want to touch on this topic today. I want to talk about what happens when the spotlight fades and the runway goes dark. See, when we think about modeling, we always hear about, the glitz and the glam of it, but we don't really delve into the dark sides of it. So, that's what I wanted to talk about in today's video. And as always, guys, if you're finding value in this content, you already know what to do. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, ding that notification bell, because each week I'm going to be coming back with more content. I'm going to be sharing more insights on how you can be successful in the modeling industry. So without further ado, let's get into today's topic. So one thing that's not talked about a lot is models are often conflicted with self-identity issues. So what do I mean by that? So once a model is deemed a model or labeled as a model, a lot of them have difficulty separating themselves as a person from the label as model. They kind of combine one and the same. So it's really, really important for models to understand that they're people first. People who have feelings, emotions, and intellect. They're not objects. Models aren't things, devoid of all those things that make us human. So main thing for models to remember is that they're people first. And what happened before COVID was we would go into what's called cattle call. See, this is where there's a big casting where a creative director would see anywhere from 50 models all the way up to 100, sometimes even more than that. And with that, if it's a big name client like a Dolce & Gabbana or Ralph Lauren, something like that, you're getting all this influx of models. And some of those models happen to be models that we see on billboards, and they're big name models. So models wear insecurities on their sleeves. So what does that mean? That means that, a lot of times it's really, really common that models will try to measure themselves up to that big name model or other models that they've been seeing around on campaigns and things like that, and not really stand in their own lane. So it'll be really, really common for if the big money guy or girl comes into the casting that, all the other models are like, oh, well, do you know this is such and such, whatever? Oh, they just shot with this photographer, or oh, they just shot this big campaign. And so there's this name dropping effect that goes on in the castings. And as opposed to you being mentally and emotionally ready to perform and put your best foot forward in front of the casting director, you're worrying about this big name guy or this big name girl, just kind of assuming that they're good enough for this and you aren't. So then if you happen to not book that job, you're going to assign meaning as if you weren't good enough or you're not good enough as a model. You just weren't a right fit for that project. But that's still not to say that you won't be right for a future project. As a model, you never want to assign meaning where there is no meaning. Again, as I just stated, just because you weren't right for one project does not mean that you're not good enough as a model and that you won't book further projects. So keep that in mind. Another thing that's really not talked about and broadly is developing mental health issues can be really, really common in the industry just due to the stressful demands of due to the industry standards, right? So if you're a model, and you need to fit clothes or you need to fit a certain aesthetic for these clients, if you want to be a working model, you want to be the best fit for whatever the casting call demands. So with that, there's like a lot of image issues, self-image issues, body image issues, skin issues, things like that just causing more undue stress. And it's especially frustrating when you've been a model and it's been, weeks or even months sometimes where you've been doing everything that you possibly can. I'm talking about hitting the gym 5-6 days a week. Your skin is on point. You're doing everything right, but you're just not booking work. That could be really, really frustrating. So if you've gone months without booking a job, then that means there's financial stress too. And according to the Mental Health Foundation, employees in careers such as fashion and creative careers like fashion are 25% more likely to develop mental health disorders. That's again due to the highly competitive nature and the undue stress that's caused to meet deadlines and be really, really productive. And the Center of Disease Control states that employers in creative industries such as fashion, there's a high correlation between stress and mental health disorders. And actually fashion industry, that ranks 7th behind careers such as doctors, lawyers, accountants, police officers, factory workers, and farmers. Maintaining a following on social media can even add more stress. When you think about influencer models, these are models who have 10,000 followers or more, right? So in the modeling industry, there's things called 10K castings. This is where casting directors are looking for influencer models or fashion models who have like a really, really big following, and they're reviewing their page and they're kind of seeing what kind of engagement that they're getting with their followers. So there's also pressure to remain relevant just by having a big following. So to stand above the rest and kind of stand out to these casting directors, these models they have to have sometimes lavish photo shoots and really just give the air of living this this lavish, beautiful lifestyle, when in reality some of these models haven't had work in months, but in their downtime when they're not working or booking modeling work, that becomes their job, is to keep their brand, as I should say, keep their brand growing. Maybe some people have heard about it, maybe some people haven't, but it's not talked about enough, in my opinion. Is there's a lot of bullying, coercion, manipulation. In some cases, there could be sexual misconduct, and it's not really spoken about widely, especially amongst female models. And it's simply because they're afraid of getting that label of being difficult to work with, or they're afraid of just not getting booked for work anymore. So a lot of female models, particularly, and male models too, they'll keep silent if there's misconduct going on a photo shoot, or they're asked to do things that they're uncomfortable with doing. It's something that they feel that they won't get booked for future work if they have this label over their head as being difficult to work with, then they just simply be quiet. And there's no greater example than supermodel Ajax Dang. See, a couple years ago, she brought up this very issue. Take a listen.
A model, you want to be this, you want to be a successful one. But the thing is, you don't know how lonely it is at the top. And not only that, the people that work with you are constantly telling you that you need to be a better person and that you're the horrible person. Constantly on a daily basis. I'm sick and tired. I'm done.
The good thing is organizations such as the Model Pledge, the Caring Foundation, and Equity offer counseling with anxiety and depression for those who are kind of going through a tough time. So don't feel afraid. Don't feel like you're alone. Please reach out. I'll leave links in the description box below. And here's a tip that I've personally learned myself. Just taking a break from your phone, a couple hours a day helps to alleviate stress. You're not being inundated with notifications from your phone. You're not constantly looking at likes or comments on your social media. You're just going about your life. You could take your dog for a walk. You could do things that really just give your mental peace and clarity. You can have a more productive day as well. I know there's a stigma about yoga and men in doing yoga, but there has been some health correlations between doing yoga and having better health benefits to it. For one, you have better flexion, which leads to, if you able to put that out in photos with photographers and things like that, your pictures are just going to pop more. You're going to be able to flow, and the clothes are probably just going to look magnificent on you. So men, we can't overlook just getting into yoga and things like that, not only just for modeling's sake, but also for our mental and our physical well-being. And it's okay to allow yourself to feel emotions. Again, we're models, we are people. We go through ups and downs, we go through tragedies, highs and lows, peaks and valleys, things like that. So it's okay if you validate your feelings. You want to validate your feelings, feel the emotion, so that you can move past it in a healthy and sustainable way. And then for balance sake, again, you don't want to get too high in the game. You don't want to get too low. That way you don't take the rejection or the no so personally. So that means pick up a good hobby. Find something that you're passionate about doing. Something that's going to give you purpose. Something that you can have fun with. Or even if it's just something just to kind of pass the time, just to get you out of thinking about that casting that you just left. So pick up a good book. Go on a nature walk with some good friends. Have a good conversation. You never know what other people may be going through, so that may get you out of your own head as well. My main takeaway from today's topic with mental health: always remember, there's always one of you. There's millions of people out there in this world, well, billions actually out here, but there's no one else like you. You don't need to look left. You You don't need to look right. You don't need to compare yourself to anyone else, but just be the best version of yourself each and every day, and have that kind of mindset as you go into the modeling industry, and you can go a long way and live a healthy and sustainable lifestyle. So until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video.